Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome to NL Supercars, and today we have a very special car. We have the Aventador LP700-4, and we have a nice man who is letting us look at the cars, and we're gonna ask him some questions about the cars. So, ready?
Okay, so just give us some of the specs of the Aventador here.
Well, it's got a little over 700 horsepower stock. I have an upgraded exhaust on it. Also, I put a Lamborghini custom chip into it, so it pushes close to 720 horsepower the way it's done. 0 to 60 is around 2.75 seconds. Top speed is around 222 miles per hour. And as you can see, it's the Roadster, which is two carbon fiber pieces that come off the top, and they can be laid up in the trunk. And then when you need to put them back on, they kind of go like T-tops, and just press them into a locking mode, and then if you're in rain or sunshine or whatever it is, you can take them on or off as you see fit.
Nice. So they just store pretty nicely.
Yeah, they store in the front, and then the engine's obviously over in the back, and you just got to see through a clear bonnet. Similar to the Aventador hardtop, but this one has an actual carbon fiber piece that goes down the center.
So what made you go for the Roadster as opposed to the...
I had a hardtop for 2014, and to get the Roadster a little bit harder to find at stock at face value, should I say MSRP.
Right.
So I was able to find one after you kind of work through the ranks of the politics of how cars work with Lambo.
Okay.
They'll let you buy a Roadster once you had a hardtop.
Okay.
MSRP, not above the retail sticker. So they had one come available, and I was on a list, so I got the opportunity to take advantage of it, and I did.
Awesome. Now you said you pretty much drive the Lambo as often as you can.
Yes, either this or the Huracan I drive once.
Okay.
Most of the days out there, unless it's snowing or if it's really bad rain. But otherwise, yes, I do drive.
Great. And do you have any trouble like going over speed bumps or anything like that?
Oh yeah, I was down in Ocean City last week, and so every time you over a curb down there, you had to put your lifter system on.
Okay.
Speed bumps, depending. If it's a really bad speed bump, yes, you want to put your lifter system on. If not, you can bottom out.
Right.
I think it's one of the things you have to learn, getting used to navigating these cars inside and out. If you learn how to understand how the cars work and how they maneuver, you'll understand what you can and can't do.
Okay.
After a while, you realize you can't come up your driveway without the lifter system and ripping off half of your car. So I've done that a couple times and realized the damage or the causes. So you just got to be more cautious than driving your average car. That's all.
Sure.
It's not anything different. You just have to be a little more cognizant and aware of the things and the surroundings around you.
Yeah. Now, how high does the lifter kit actually?
It's about 3 inches.
About 3 inches.
So if you go over a really big curve, you're going to be in trouble either way.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Where do you go to get a Lambo? Like, where would you go to buy one even?
There's a couple places around here. You have New York, which is about 3 hours, obviously, way north. You have DC. I believe there's one in Raleigh, North Carolina, but you have to travel. I mean, and there's a Quebec in New Jersey. So there's about 4 or 5 different areas in this local vicinity, what I should say, quote-unquote tri-state area that you can get them at.
Gotcha.
But you know, you do have to work through the ranks of getting up to the higher echelon cars. You can't just go in order most of the time.
Sure.
And if you can get them, you don't want them. If that makes some sense.
Gotcha. Yeah. So where do you start then? If you wanted to own a Lambo, how would you get into it?
Well, I started with a Gallardo. I started with a 2013 Gallardo. I bought a new. 3 months later, an Aventador came up, an opportunity arose. I took it. And then a year and a half later, a year and 3 months later, I had the opportunity to buy a Roadster, and I took that. So from here, now I can pretty much write my ticket if I want a car. The one thing they're very particular about is if you take the car and sell it and make a profit, they'll kick you off the list. They kind of blacklist you from the industry. They want to see you have the cars for a while before you just get rid of them.
Makes sense. They want to control who has them and where they're at. So I know we asked this question before, but where do you drive when there's bad weather?
I have an SUV that I drive when it's bad weather. We keep these in the garage.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've learned that lesson once.
All right. And what do you think the thing that most defines a Lambo for you? Like, what is the...
You know, I got to say, it's not the steadiness of it, because there's been most of the highly remote exotics, the Ferraris, the Lamborghinis, the Koenigseggs, the Bugattis. They're going to have more temperamental problems than your average Porsche or Maserati. I think that these cars are much more temperamental and they do break, but I think the eye appeal of a Lamborghini versus other exotics out there just appeal more to the human eye. The aesthetic view of a Lamborghini, I just feel, is much more apropos to what the sports car really should look like. And let's face it, bang for the buck, it's probably one of the better cars out there on the road aesthetically. And also performance-wise, it's been one of the better ones out there.
Okay. So if you, now I know you said you owned like some Porsches and Ferraris, would you choose the Lambo over those?
I would aesthetically, absolutely. Performance, they're all within reason. There's no such thing as, a Porsche Turbo not being as fast as a Lamborghini Aventador, as fast as a McLaren 650S. Within reason, they all come within a quarter second of each other, 0 to 60. So not many people are going to be frustrated if you're going 0 to 60 in 2.9 versus 2.6 versus 3.1. It's a negligible amount when you're actually behind the wheel.
Sure.
I think what really matters is how you feel behind the wheel, the eye appeal it has, the sound. I think, feeling the roar behind you is my personal favorite. Some people don't like that. I know I have some friends and clients who actually prefer the front engine cars, the Ferraris that have front engines like the V12s, and they don't prefer the loudness of it. I prefer the exotic sounding car, which is a little deeper, throatier type of exhaust systems, and I think Lamborghini provides that much better than any sports car out there at this time.
Right.
I'm sure by next 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, someone else will come out with something that's a little more dynamic, but for the time being, I believe this is probably one of the more finer cars on the planet.
Okay. What do you find as far as ease of driving this compared to like the Ferrari and the Porsches?
I think Porsche was a much easier car to traverse when you're behind the wheel, and it's not because of performance, it's because of the blind spots. These cars are horrific. If you really don't know how to look, you really can cause some damage to your car. You gotta be very careful of the blind spots when you're switching lanes. I rarely switch lanes, and if I need to, I make sure I'm in front of someone, because from here back, when you're in the car from here back with tops on, you're pretty much blind.
Right.
So even with rear view mirrors or side facing mirrors, it's pretty hard to.
Yeah, because this is pretty much the window to see out the back.
And then
if
you
you're
have a wing
gonna.
that goes up. So
Okay,
realistically, you cannot. Realistically, you're blinded from about 50 degrees back. You're pretty much blinded. So anyone that comes up to you can hit you pretty easily or sideswipe you pretty easily. And you got to be careful of that. Okay. Most of the Aventadors on the road have actually been hit because of changing lanes. Right. That's the truth. Almost 50% of them have actually been in body shops because of changing lanes. It's just a very difficult thing. Same with the Huracan.
Yeah.
Because your blind spots are so horrific in these things that you really want to know how to drive and take the classes that are necessary. Once you take the classes that are necessary and you're driving with these cars over a period of time, you get acclimated to driving them, and then you're not so scared to drive them. First, it's a little scary.
I bet. So they actually have classes then?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is that something Lambo provides? Or?
Lambo will provide them, or I would suggest more or less you go to schools either in like Virginia or Tyler, Texas, or Monticello, New York, and just learn how to travel those cars. It also keeps your insurance at a bay, because obviously you don't want to have insurance that's going to be tripling every 5 or 6 years because you're getting 2 or 3 accidents a year, and that's not right.
Cool. All right. Well, hey, thank you so much. Appreciate you giving us your time to talk about the car. And
anytime.
So it's awesome. And push button start, correct?
Push button start. Everything's on the wheel, so there's no clutch. It's a pretty easy car to drive. This one's real easy. This one is extremely fast shifting. Extremely easy. Very much like a go-kart. This one's a little bit more lethargic, but just raw power in this one more. This one's a little quicker, 0 to 60, but this one just pulls you a lot easier. The biggest, as I said before, driving are phenomenal. Right. The blind spots and learning how to. Also, people don't see you. Yeah. If you're reversing in a parking lot and they're in a van, you won't see me. Right. So there's a very good chance if you're reversing, you're going to hit my car. So I have to be very aware of all my surroundings. Yeah. Wow. So most people that drive these things, you're going to get some kind of fender bender because people just don't see it. It's 38 inches, 40 inches off the ground. Right. You're in a truck next to me. You look over, you don't see anything. You look down. And naturally driving, you look to the side, you look to the horizon. You don't have a tendency to look down and behind.
That's definitely something you don't think about when you're thinking about getting a sports car or
you got to be careful.
driving one.
It is, and that's why that's why people that don't have good driving records, they just can't buy these things. Yeah. You just get saddled. Yeah. It's not even a matter of insurance. You just won't get it. They just don't insure you.
Sure. Sure. So with the paddle shifters, there is no clutch, you said.
No clutch at all. It's all clutchless. Everything's just a paddle. It's double clutch.
Okay.
Meaning it's just double clutch internally. It's all carbon fiber. As fast as your hands hit the wheel and shift up or down, that's as fast as it goes.
And you just go by sound, basically?
Yeah, within reason. I mean, you learn how to look at the RPMs when it goes to 6 or 7. You can shift. If you're really on it, you can take it to 8 or 9 RPMs.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, when you start to feel that rumble and the car starts to brake on you a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, you start to shift.
Awesome. I only recently learned that you didn't have a clutch with the pedal. I didn't ever know that, but
it's all clutchless, which the reason they're doing that now is because of the launch control to make these cars exponentially faster.
Yeah.
You press the gas and the brake at the same time in a certain mode. Once you press that gas and brake at the same time, you let go of the brake and you continue holding the gas down. It launches you back around 1.5 Gs, so you can really pulls you pretty quick.
Wow.
Unfortunately, in a stick, you don't get that same effect. It's almost like a neutral drop, but you're doing it with the transmission that's supposed to do that.
Right.
So your 0 to 60 times get below 3 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, great. So there's different modes, right?
You have Strata mode, which is just like if you're on a highway. You have your Sport mode, which is a little bit more of a throatier mode, and your Corsa mode is more of a track mode.
Okay.
So if you're in track mode, it's as fast as you can switch. Your hands are very steady, and as fast as you can move your fingers, that's how fast the shifting will go.
Sure. Awesome. Well, definitely a beautiful car, that's for sure. I'm sure you have people come up to you all the time.
People take pictures. You know what we do? I do a lot of charity events with it. It's fun to do. I love when children come up and they get a chance to sit in a car that they normally wouldn't. You know, I grew up without any money. You know, I didn't grow up rich, and I worked for everything I have. And it was nice to just be able to have a situation where, you know, I can give back. You know, I give to grief and charity centers for children in New York and things of that nature that I've been integrated with. So it's nice to be able to have people that come in and just like to have different aspects of the car. Yeah, makes some sense.
Cool. Is this like a GPS unit in the middle? Is that?
Yeah, the GPS in the middle, correct.
Yeah.
This one and that one is right on the screen in front of you.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's, you know, I think that if you're looking for a car that's just a little bit different than your average car, this is probably a little crazy. I think I went a little overboard with the Aventador. Honestly, to tell you the truth, this car, the Huracan, I believe, bang for the buck, is a much better car.
Okay.
And it's half the expense.
Yeah.
It's just that this, I think, it's a little more eye appeal with the clear bonnet back and the convertible. And
Now the Huracan is a newer model, right? Or
they're both new. They're both new models. The Huracan's the newest, small. They replaced the Gallardo.
Okay.
So that mid-range, that $300,000 range car, that's the Huracan.
Yeah. You want to go and see the Huracan?
Oh, sure.
This one does not have any special things on it. It's just a stock Huracan, and it's very fast. 0 to 60 is like 2.75 seconds.
Are the wheels wider on this one?
No, not the same. There's a little taller on the other one, so it makes it look. Come on up, guys.
Now that's a lot of switches.
How many switches are there?
You race and stuff too, or no? Okay.
Yeah, my racing days are over.
Yeah.
This one has the V10 engine
Okay.
versus the V12. So that makes it a little more cost effective, I think. But you still get,
the D12.
yeah, but you still get all the performance
Right.
because it's lighter, it's smaller.
Yeah, it does look small.
And on this one, the doors open regular.
Okay. Not the. Oh wow, yeah, we do.
Like that.
Sit there and look out the window like you're looking out the window with your. Yeah, he's gonna start this one.
Let's start them both up, actually.
Okay, there you go.
This one's really nasty. This one's nice, it's great, it's fast, it's bulletproof, and I have problems, but they always look the same. Yeah, I'm waiting to do something crazy. Like the 918 is crazy, but it's $1 million. It's crazy. You can put them together for 400,000 or 500,000, baby. But that can hurt your teeth.
They had a 918 up at the furniture in Pittsburgh. I was really surprised. They had a
$1 million. That's crazy.
they had a McLaren T1 as well, which is like a $2 million car. I was like,
I saw two of those actually in Westchester, but two of them.
really? Yeah, I told the guy, I said, this car in the middle of the field where Oh, there you go.
That's a good idea.
Is it on?
Yeah, it's on. You recording?
I'm on.
Touch the gas. Don't touch the gas.
Not yet. See that little red button? Flip it up.
Flip it up.
Hit the start button. Hold it again. Just hold it in for a second. Keep the brake down.
That is awesome. That thing definitely felt like
Smell the gas.
fire was gonna come out the thing, man. That was,
They do. You can shoot flames out of it.
I've heard that
Yeah.
you could,
The
but
back of it, it's pretty cool.
okay.
Yeah.
You gotta
I
get
wouldn't need it, but I mean, you could. If you want to, you can actually do it now.
That was truly an incredible experience. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.